Hello, everybody. I'm Ernesto Boado. I'm from BGD Labs. BGD Labs is a contributor to the Aave protocol, like at the moment, but a group of DeFi developers, like blockchain in general. And well, today I was invited by our friends of Chainlink, like to SmartCon, and as Chainlink is about connection and so on, so I decided to talk a bit, as is also related with our projects in BGD and in the Aave ecosystem, like to talk about the interconnection, like cross-chain communication, and some kind of funny analogy. So, yeah, to start with, as I think almost everybody knows, blockchain at the current moment is quite interconnected. Like there is multiple types of networks, environments. Ones have some type of technology, some others have other type of technology. And there is kind of an history of this evolution and to arrive to the current point, which is, well, initially blockchains are designed to be a bit isolated, and quite puristic, let's say. Pretty soon, applications that are leaving the blockchain start to require external data or more processed data that is not doable to have like in the blockchain execution environment itself. So these new execution environments appear, which are in the shape of sidechains, rollup, optimistic, CK, and way more that are appearing every day. And obviously, as soon as this happens, like you start to require like to connect these different environments. This is kind of like, yeah, general picture. It applies for blockchains, for protocols, for like applications, like so. Aave is no exception of it. So, yeah, for the presentation, I try to make a bit of an analogy. Like I'm quite of a big fan of science fiction, like astrophysics, the universe, and so on. So, like I think that the blockchain world and the tech world actually can be a good comparison with that field too. Well, I call like this, I start with this, what I call the universe of tech. Yeah, from a bit of like centric perspective of the blockchain, we can see that there is like this like planetary system or galaxy like of Web3, the blockchain world. And then you have like also like what we call the Web2 world, which is basically like the whole tech, like traditional. And then you have like other movements, like it could be AI, it could be like all these things that they are appearing every day, like in the innovation field. If we zoom in a bit, like we just go to the Web3, let's say, planetary system, and here like we have like all the environments that I described before, so which in my analogy are like the planets. So you have Ethereum, you have like, we have Polygon, you have Optimism, Arbitrum, all the rollups, like you have like nowadays countless of them. So we go back to Aave now. So and this applies to almost any protocol or application layer that is called. Yeah, Aave lives in like multiple of these planets. It started with one, then it expanded, and nowadays, well, as you can see, yes, it's just around. Now, there is one thing that for those of you who are familiar like with astrophysics, like and so on, that is called the Kardashev scale. So this is like a measure of civilization, like in terms of like the universe, like so. To simplify, and then it's just some introduction, like it divides like, let's say, galactic civilizations like in 3 types. A bit more, like depends on where you look at, but mainly in 3 types. And this depends on how like each civilization in their development stage gathers energy, right? So you have like the type 1s, which are those that live in a single planet and control like the energy of that planet. Type 2, which is when this civilization expands. And type 3, when it's like universe scale, like and super powerful, civilizations. So how this is related, like it seems a bit out of the blue, right? So I created like this other concept that I call the blockchain scale of applications in parallel. And to explain like how a protocol or application like Aave actually follows a pretty similar pattern, like as galactic civilization in a different scale, of course. So how this works? We have like type 1 applications, type 1 DeFi protocols, or almost any type of protocol, which are those that live in a single planet, let's say, which is in this case a single network. So which are the characteristics of these applications, like, or what is in the case of Aave? So Aave started on Ethereum, a DeFi liquidity protocol. I think everybody is familiar, where people can like deposit funds, borrow against those tokens, and so on. There is a governance system too, which is quite big at the moment. Like there is like a safety module, there is like multiple sub-technologies. But everything was in type 1, lives in one planet. So usually it's Ethereum, not anymore. Well, the reflection of this is like the Ethereum Aave V2 market, which was created like already, I think, 2 years ago. And yeah, at the beginning it was only there. Now, there is another intermediate stage, which is the late type 1s applications, which is when you are in a single network, but you start like expansion efforts, right? So this is what happens with Aave, which after Ethereum decided like to go to Polygon and to Avalanche with the version 2 of the protocol, and yeah, like those networks are, back in the days, they were like in early stage, and it's more about, okay, how it works, the application there, does it have potential, how is the user base, and so on. And well, this happened like almost, 1.5 years ago or something like that. Yeah, the reflection is like the Polygon B2 market, Avalanche B2 market of Aave. Type 2 civilizations, if you remember what I mentioned before, is the multiplanetary in the galactic scale. So this is when like already the protocol or the application like Aave already expanded like to multiple places, which are proven already, and this is more or less systematic. So characteristics is that Aave in this case like has reached like a really important maturity. We are talking about the Aave v3 already version, which is the current version. And it is, well, it lives in all these different planets, which means that it is deployed on these different blockchain networks. So another characteristic is, well, this systematic expansion, like procedures of expansion of colonization are quite well defined. Generally, the expansion is just by replication. So basically, the Aave protocol, the one that runs on Ethereum, gets deployed on the others in a pretty similar manner. And there is already, of course, communication between these networks, but this communication is slightly rudimentary, let's say. So mainly like unidirectional, for example, like for the governance of Aave on Ethereum, to pass decisions to the other networks and control like the system, the multiplanetary system. Well, the result is this, which is kind of current result on where like Aave lives in multiple networks, like Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, like a lot of them. They are completely different compared with each other, like and the procedure like it just scales, right? So next phase, and this is the current state, actually not type 2, which is the late type 2. Characteristics of this stage is that it's a bit more technical. So Aave is multi-chain by design. What that means is that it's not exactly expansion by replication. Is the new systems that are created around Aave are designed with multi-chain in mind. Like it's not anymore like limited like DeFi design like to what Ethereum allows you to do, but you already think like, okay, on rollups we can do something different. On side chains, there is these other limitations, and so on. At the same time, there is like a quite important internal evolution of like the civilization, let's say. So it's not that like you solve all the problems on the initial planet, but you come up with new things. So like Go stablecoin is a clear example that was introduced just now. Another characteristic is that the communication starts to be bidirectional, like because when you are at such high scale, like you really need to communicate between all your different environments. And some that is quite important, but usually pretty hidden for the general public, is that the infrastructure of the protocol and the application like gets really, really mature. Like so, for example, from BGD Labs, that is one we had quite a lot of focus last year and a half on really put to this level like the infrastructure of the Aave protocol, like the Aave DAO, and so on and so forth. The examples of the current stage of this multi-chain approach by design is the Aave Governance v3 that we developed from BGD, which is like a governance system on where it's already like, we have modules, like so validation happens on Ethereum, while voting happens on other environments, and all these environments communicate between each other like in a pretty seamless way by using like mechanisms like Chainlink, CCIP. Other examples are like the still internal evolution like of the civilization of the application, like the most clear example is the Go stablecoin by Aave companies, which just expands the reach, the universal reach of a protocol like Aave. Now, so which is the future? Like, so type 3 civilization, if you remember, it was like the galactic empires, let's say, that they can harness the energy of the universe. We are not there yet, or so I think, but I think that how it looks at the moment is that more multi-chain interconnection, like is pretty clear. New and innovative systems, that means like that the Go stablecoin like will not be the only, most probably. So Aave should expand to other realms, let's say. Then most probably there will be more and more customization depending on the environment. If you remember what I mentioned before, like replication was and is a really important part of the strategy of Aave. But more and more, I think that during the next 1 or 2 years, we will see more customization because, well, the environments are completely different in some cases. And one that is really important is that, like, we will start probably looking outside of the Web3 world and focusing some other fields. Now, like this doesn't come without challenges, like the changing of scale. So while you try to span, like you still have a lot of developments inside. This is challenging because you need to keep the rhythm. Aave doesn't live alone, like on all these planets. So you need to be well. You are competing with other protocols and with other ideas. And of course, like whenever you change, like from one planet to another or between galaxies, like the languages are pretty different, like between those. Like so, it can be technical languages, but it can be also like talking with institutions, like when you enter into realms like the capital markets and so on. And well, as we are here, like thanks to the amazing team of Chainlink, all these things like will not be so possible or not so easy at least without all the effort we did together. And examples like Aave using price oracles, proof of reserve, automation, CCIP, and so on. And yeah, so I think that it's just the beginning of the road, like for a protocol like Aave, and welcome to Aave Interconnected.